Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in from live uh, as I talk about energetic competition. Energetic competition can be one of the most growth promoting energies, and it can be one of the most destructive energies. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today in this live session here, not only on YouTube, but also on Facebook. My name is Nancy Rebecca, and you can check out my website at intuitivemind.org. Hello, everyone coming on. Hi, Kathleen and Judy, who are popping on today. So just give you all just a couple of more seconds to get warmed up. I've got my coffee this morning, checking in from Tacoma, Washington. Here it is April 21st, and it's still pretty cold around here. We've still had some snow and mix. We've had a few teasers when it comes to the warmth coming up, maybe even coming into the 70s, but it's pretty gloomy out there. Hello, Elaine from Spokane. And Don Harper saying, I wonder what energetic competition is. It's not something that we talk about much, but it's something that we should talk about a lot. And it's something we should take an enormous amount of energetic responsibility for. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in. Hello, Jules and Wilma and Annette. Good day to you all as well. And happy to be here. So, energetic spiritual competition. Your spirit is not competitive. Your spirit is inclusive. Your spirit wants everyone to have winning moments. But your spirit understands that you are here in Earth School to learn lessons around competition. So competition is an energy of the human body, of the 3D realm, for the purpose of, as I said, competition can be very growth promoting, or it can be one of the most destructive energies on the planet if it's not managed and you don't take responsibility for it. Everybody does it in healthy ways and in unhealthy ways. So your human body is competitive. Your body has social programming around competition, coming first, being successful. Your body loves to play games, do sports, play cards, challenge yourself, and beat your own times at achievements in life. You want to kind of top yourself over and over and over again. Good morning, Rebecca and Zulu Sue. So your body is learning to work with the energy of competition to learn how to move energy, how to move you from a stuck place to a place of movement, how to move you to be at a certain standard in something that you're really good at, and then move you to another level, kind of raising the bar, kind of competing with yourself to see if you can do better. And not just in sports. And I think that's what people get really confused about, is that this is not just energetic competition for sports. It can be energetic competition for any kind of position or standard in life. So what I talked about and mentioned in the narrative of this video is that right now in our world, we have enormous countries who are competing with each other for power, competing with each other for status. Who is it, democracy or autocracy? It's like there's just all this competition around who's the best, what's the best, how can we achieve the best over and over and over again. And so when Spirit told me competition is one of the most destructive energies that we work with on the planet, it really got my attention. me just take a sip of coffee. Some spiritual programming teaches you that it's not okay to compete. So you may say, if you think that you are highly evolved spiritually, you think, that we want to be inclusive, right? That unity consciousness. We don't want to compete with each other, or we think that we're not competing with each other. But when I talk about the energy of competition, as we kind of lead up, you're going to start to see more about what I'm talking about, and maybe see those attributes, whether they're positive or they're destructive within yourself. Everyone should get acknowledged for participation. So that's a very kind of high spiritual standard, where we don't want a clear winner. We want everybody to get acknowledged for participating. And we see this a lot in elementary school and middle school and high school and all throughout your life. Competition starts at a very early age. And that early age can be the mother saying, well, my son started walking at 6 months old. Oh, well, my granddaughter, she can speak full sentences. How come your granddaughter of the same age isn't speaking at all? So you can see that we're already bathing our children in this competition. Or, as a nurse at the hospital, we always have this saying, no offense, nurses, but we have this saying that nurses eat their young. So what do we mean by that? What we mean is that the nurse who has 10, 20 years experience, when a new nurse comes in and who's just learning and just training, that more experienced nurse can do one of two things. They can be destructive in their competition, saying, you should have known that. What did they teach you in school? You should have come better prepared. So there's always this competitive energy where the more experienced nurse is competing with the new nurse because they shouldn't be so naive. They should whatever. And then you can have the nurse who recognizes that they are new in their learning, new in their growth, and they come from that place of, how can I support you while you're learning and growing, while you're kind of competing or comparing in this environment to get just a little bit better. And I know every single one of you can name an episode where you were in an environment where coworkers were around you, and you had a coworker that was supportive and a coworker that wasn't supportive. And you've been in situations where maybe you felt like you needed to teach and support through the hard knocks, or you were the type of person that could be supportive. How can I support your growth? So we all have those sides of ourselves, and which category do you fall under? I always use the term with my students, are you a shark or are you a dolphin? So a shark, if a shark sees that someone is failing, we'll say at work, they're having a hard day, they're having a bad day, they keep dropping things, they keep forgetting things. How many of you just start coming after that vulnerability or that bad day or their weaknesses, and do that kind of hard knocks of life? It's like, all right, I see that you're kind of bleeding here, and I'm attracted to that vulnerability and that trauma, and I'm really going to give you a hard time, and I'm going to ride you all day long. That's a form of competition. You're competing with that person who's having a hard time, and so that person will just go lower. Their energy field will just go lower. Your energy, when I talk about energetic competition, is going to wrap them up in that failure. You're a failure energy, and then that person can't succeed. No matter what, they're not going to improve, because you've already labeled them as someone who is really cruddy at their job, that they can't do well, they can't think their way out of a paper bag. So that's a form of energetic competition, energetic comparing. And in that spiritual aspect, we'll sometimes think everybody should be included, everybody's a winner, I don't like competition, that's a low grade energy. And some people will say, I don't have a competitive bone in my body. I just want everybody to win. Now, that's very much spirit, but that's not your body. Your body works with competition energy so that it can improve. It uses that competition and comparing energy to improve. Therefore, your body must have a healthy outlet for competition, or it's going to come out in unhealthy ways. So, what are some healthy ways that you can provide your body to work out that competitive nature? It can be sports, absolutely. Have some type of activity where you are in a fun way competing, whether it's in tennis or it's in golf or you're running marathons and you're trying to beat your own time. Or how about playing cards or playing games to be able to kind of have this kind of playful competition. When I was in psychic school, to help us clear our competition with each other. Who's the best psychic? Who's learning the best? Who's the teacher's pet? Who's not being very intuitive? Oh, if I was reading that, I would read that much better. It's like what they would do is play silly little games like, I don't even know. I can't even remember that one where you go in a circle and you sit down and then they take a chair away, musical chairs. And it was quite fun, but it would really push up our competitive nature. And then we would be led through a meditation to help us clear our out of balance competition energy that would come to the surface. Unhealthy ways, if you do not have a good outlet for competition here in this 3D realm, you're going to sabotage the success of others. You're going to be jealous. You're going to be negative. You want to see someone fail. I call this kind of gleeful, gleeful failure. It's like, oh, thank goodness, they just had that hard tumble. Thank goodness that they really got caught up. Their ego was so big, So if I'm triggering you, if this makes sense to you, because I'm only talking about all these little triggers that have come up for me as well, and how we were kind of forced when I went through psychic school to really push that stuff up and get it cleaned out. So you get that gleefully happy when someone fails, when something's not going well. And this is what happens in our cancel culture, where we knock people off their perch. And sometimes people they need to answer for and be responsible for some choices that they've made that have been unhealthy, or they've hurt or harmed someone else. Absolutely. But right now we're living in a culture where you can have several people go after someone we'll just say just for the hunt, just for the desire to take someone down. It's not even personal. It's just a game. It's a competitive game. Remember Nancy Kerrigan? I can't remember the person who ended up, taking that iron bar and hitting her across the leg so she couldn't compete for the gold medal, because there was all this competition, because she was really good. She was a really good ice skater. And it was highly likely that she was going to win the gold medal. And so that energetic piece of that jealousy, I want her to go down. She thinks she's all that in a box of chocolate. She's a big show off, whatever that is. Yeah, it sounds ugly. We're human beings. We've got ugliness inside. When we act in our lowest form of expression, that's where you'll have the highest levels of destructive competition. Tanya Harding. Yeah, Tanya Harding. And her life didn't go well after that. I mean, she could not get out of this competitive phase ever. And so her life just went down, 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 down because she didn't have a sense of self. So the energy of comparing is also competition. The energy of comparing. So comparing and competition are the same energy. So I'm saying that because how many of us wish, it's like saying, how come he always gets the promotions or she always gets the promotions? I'm smarter than them. I've got this figured out. I've been here for 30 years. And how can they come into the workplace after just 1 year and be promoted so quickly? And so what happens is your energy wraps around their aura, and it's like a boa constrictor snake. So this is what my spirits tell me. It's like a boa constrictor that starts wrapping around energetically the person and starts to squeeze their aura. You're trying to shut them down. That's what energetic competition is. So we see that, as I said, in nursing, we see that in teaching, we see that in spiritual development. My program is better than your program. You would be doing better if you were in my program. I get that a lot. I had someone come into Free Healing Friday, and and I said, "Would you like a healing?" And she said, "Absolutely not. I am in full control of the constitution of my energy field. I manage my own chakras. I don't let someone else touch my energy field." So that's this form of competition, like walking into Free Healing Friday with some really like 8 volunteer healers that are amazing, really kind, really welcoming people, and literally making an assumption, you know nothing, I know everything. That's energetic competition. Now, you may not say that, but you may walk in and say, this party isn't cool. These aren't cool people. Like, it comes out in these, as I said, in destructive ways if you don't have a healthy way to express it. So comparing is, wow, those are really cute shoes. I'm going to really make this small. These are cute shoes. I really like those shoes. Yeah, that's a form of comparing. I wish I had a cute body like hers, or I wish I had a, sculpted body like his. I wish I was as smart as them, or I'm smarter than everyone in this room. If everyone just listened to what I have to say, things would run much more smoothly. Um, I wish that I could talk in front of people like them. And so you'll get that competition. If I was speaking to this room full of people, I would be able to captivate their attention. If I was talking to this group of people, I would be able to deliver this message better than they would. And intuition, it's huge. So even amongst my students who are amazing empaths and who can read really well, but they're not happy with that. They want to be clairvoyant. It's like often, I've been doing this for 25 years, and the student will say, yeah, but I can't talk to my spirit like you can. And I'm like, but you will, And so that's that competition. That's that body comparing, where you're comparing yourself to somebody who's maybe been doing something for a long time, and you're wondering how come you can't be that good. And these are kind of unconscious thoughts. It can almost surprise you when it comes up. It's like, oh wow, I'm really competing with this person that way and comparing. So as Kathleen is saying, is complimenting someone on their shoes and saying you like them, is that competitive? No, it's a whole different energy. So if you say, wow, I really love how you're speaking. I hear that you've really improved. I've watched you. You're really improved over time. That's wanting to be uplifting. That's not wanting to be dampening. One time I practiced this thing in the airport, and I thought, So Kathleen Dowd, I'm referring to you. So I went to the airport and I thought, I'm just gonna just find one thing incredible about each and every person I run into. So I get up to the ticket line and it's like, ooh, I really like that way that your uniform really fits in this kind of tailored way. It's really beautiful. Brings out the blue in your eyes. All right. And and then it was like, oh, I like your hair. Oh, I like your bag. Oh my gosh, your baby's so beautiful. Blah, 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 blah. So I just kind of went through. But this is the incredible thing is that once I started doing that, oh, I just have to come up and tell you, I just love your smile. Oh my gosh, that cup of coffee looks awesome. Where did you get it? I mean, I'm talking about things that are not that big of a deal, and they require no effort to be able to do. And I was noticing every time I said it, someone's aura expanded. So that's the difference. There's an expansion in one way, there's a contraction in another way. What happened though is that once that was set up in my energy field to be uplifting, I would be standing there on my phone and someone would come up and say, wow, I just want to come up and just say, I absolutely love your haircut. So here it was suddenly, remember, what goes out comes back to you. What goes out comes back to you. So if you're complimentary, uplifting, expanding, if you're the dolphin, where you want to help uplift a struggling fish to the top of the water so that it can rest and take a breath, that's the difference. It's expanding, it's uplifting, it's a higher frequency. So when I say in the spiritual world, you as spirit is not competitive, but your body is, you can still have some people that have very low frequencies. Let's just say that they've hurt and harmed a lot of people, or, we're talking about countries right now that are being very destructive because you have a country that was really growing fast and expanding and doing really well. And then you've got this other country that's like, no, I'm jealous. I don't want you to have that power. I don't want you to have those abilities. I'm going to take over your country. And so we see this competition all the time. And, you've got the United States. I'm just going to name the United States, not where we are now, but historically where we've been is that kind of global leader. People would kind of trust that. Then you have other countries in the world that want to see the successful person fail. Not to say the United States was successful. I just want to use that as an example that sometimes you can do really well, that cancel culture where a lot of people then want to see you fail and go down because of competition and comparing. So we're going to do a meditation. Can you relate to what I'm saying? If you can, put a comment in the comment section. If you can relate to what I'm saying, even if you can't relate to what I'm saying. So if I notice that, I'm being compared to, or people are competing with me, that means I have competition in my energy field. And so I'll go into meditation and I'll clear that, or I'll try to find some healthy ways to get that competition out. So in this meditation, I'm going to have you run your energy. That means get yourself grounded, get the earth energy and the cosmic energy flowing. And then I'm going to have you think of one person that you've really revered in life, that maybe you felt a little jealous, that everything seems to go right for them. They seem to have it together. So I don't want you to do that just yet, but I want you to have that person off to the side that you're thinking about. And we're going to run energy, and then I'm going to have you think of that person and run energy again. And I teach experiential learning. I want you to have an experience with this. So yeah, lots of people are saying that they can relate to all of this. So we really are moving as a society in that higher state of consciousness where we're taking responsibility for our competitive and comparing thoughts, because We don't want to be that boa constrictor that starts to kind of squeeze the enlightening light out of someone else. We want to see everyone be able to succeed and everyone be able to be their best potential. All right, go ahead, close your eyes and turn within. And even if you're brand new to listening to these live teachings, please know that you are very welcome. You're very included. We're being very energetic, inclusive. And I'm just going to challenge you to not try to compare yourself to how anybody else might be doing it. I'm wondering if I'm doing it right. That's a form of kind of comparing yourself to others. Just be right where you are and be that wonderful, beautiful soul that you already are. Say hello to your body. Say hello to your spirit. Let your body know that you're going to clear some out of balance energy, out of balance competitive, comparing energy. That you want your body to cooperate, your human energy field to cooperate, to let it go. And then please let your spirit know you'd like your spirit to help you release some unhealthy competition from your own energy field. We're going to work with pure blue today. Pure blue today. So imagine pure blue, cobalt blue, lapis blue grounding. So it can be a blue tree, it can be blue elephants, it can be blue sapphires, it can be a blue, did I say a tree already? A blue waterfall, a blue rainbow, blue birds. But pretend that whatever blue essence, energy, or image that you're coming up with, it's going to pull the lower part of your aura all the way down through the seat of your chair, through the foundation of the building or house or car that you're sitting in. It's going to go through the Earth's crust, deeper, deeper, deeper until you get to the core, the magnetic core of the Earth, and then wrap your lower grounding around that magnetic core to anchor yourself in. Nice, nice. I have a little tickle in my throat this morning. Set your intention. Remember, intention is you have a thought and action follows. Intend to start releasing unhealthy, competitive energy right down your grounding. That it's just going to liquefy and dissolve. Now imagine blue earth energy coming up through the arches of your feet. Invite that lapis blue, cobalt blue, royal blue, right up through your legs. Up through your knees, your thighs, your hips, into your pelvis. And then right back down your grounding. So you're bringing blue earth energy up through your pelvis, back, cascading back down to the center of the earth. Let's take about 30 seconds of quiet as you create an earth energy circuit. Okay, up through the legs, into the pelvis, back down to the center of the earth. Remind yourself of what today's date is. Remind yourself of how old you are. Because remember, you were taught and bathed in the energetics of competition and comparing the moment you were born. So reminding yourself of your age will help with that. All right, now create a large ball of cosmic blue, celestial. It can be this blue star, celestial blue cosmic energy coming from the cosmos all the way down through the top of your head. Just let it fill up your aura and just start to wash out any old, outdated, energetic competition, unhealthy energetic competition and comparing. Let it flow all the way down your grounding as well, all the way through your feet, through the floor of the room, through the earth's crust, back down to the center of the earth. Let some of that blue celestial light expand in the earth. Now, think of that person that you have in mind that you really revere, you have a lot of respect for. Like I love Michelle Obama, for example, so it's like whoever that is, it doesn't matter, but I want you to really, I want to be like them. I want to be smart like them, or I want to be charismatic like them, or I want to be loving like them. Oh, I wish I had that level of compassion. So I want you to think about all those wonderful qualities about that person that you're comparing yourself to. Now, try to ground again. So I want you to check in with your grounding while you're being kind of envious, maybe jealous, or maybe have that you're comparing yourself to. I want you to try to ground. I want you to try to run your earth energy through your leg channels. I want you to try to run that cosmic blue through your aura. And what do you sense? sense what you sense, experience what you experience while comparing yourself to someone else. All right, go ahead and let go of any imagery around that person, any feelings around that person, any comparing, any competition. Just drop it down your grounding. And then just have those thoughts. I'm good. I'm okay just the way I am. I love myself. I love my hair. I've got beautiful hips. I've got strong muscles. I have this beautiful singing voice. When I wear this certain outfit, my eyes sparkle. So I want you to just think about some things, find something that you like about yourself. I've got cute feet. I'm really smart at mathematics. I'm really great at dancing. I'm really good at directions when I am driving my car. I have a natural navigation system. So there's a lot of wonderful things about you. So just say that and now try to reground, bring some more of that blue up your legs, bring the celestial blue through your aura. And how does that feel now? Intend that that blue is going to wash out unhealthy competition comparing energy and just dissolve it and flush it down your grounding. Whew, you're letting go of a lot, a lot, a lot. That's a good thing. I always say better out than in. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes and stretch your arms and your legs and make a comment about what did you notice was the difference? What did you notice was the difference? So before, as you're kind of writing what you noticed as the difference, what Spirit wanted me to say as we're just kind of wrapping this up, that when you ask someone for advice or you'll say, tell me what to do, I don't know what to do, that's energetic competition and comparing. That means that you've made that decision that that person knows better than you know for yourself. And so people who maybe go to a lot of psychics or we'll just kind of leave it at that. You can think of a variety of ways, but when you ask someone for their opinion, you kind of move out of your energy field. You want them to move into your energy field and to help you make decisions. So again, that's kind of an unhealthy form of competition. But competition can be beautiful. I want to say that as well. When you watch an athlete, an ice skater, when you watch someone bowling and they just hit those high scores all the time, and then they come and they like to teach kids and adults how to achieve their greatness at bowling. So that's just play with it. Let your spirit teach you more about the energetics of competition and caring so you can begin to manage and take responsibility more for your thoughts and your own energy field moving forward as we really move to those higher states of consciousness. So, hope you learned something today. I sure enjoyed sharing it with you. And again, we need to have more of these conversations about this. So just know that next week is the May frequency forecast. Then I'm going to Ireland for a couple of weeks. So I have, we'll make some YouTube videos that you'll have, but we won't have live sessions for a couple of weeks there. But Kathy will remind you all. So, but just know I'll be back on Thursday mornings when I get back. All right, and then we've got the summer solstice coming up, and I've included the link here. All right, everyone, there you go. We'll talk to you later. Have an awesome weekend and week.